are now listening to LSL.
Welcome back to DIY Mixers crew. What's going on, everybody? How's everybody's Sunday doing? Glad to be back and seeing everybody in the chat. Thanks for the support. If you guys have any questions for us during the show, please tag us at DIY Mixers crew, and hopefully we will get to those as quick as possible. So today we're going to do a little bit of talk about the NCRRDA. Lewis actually did a little bit of research on that this week with all the controversy going on in some of the vaping forums. They were talking about how bad it is for you. I actually was going to order one. Thank God I didn't. I have a little tidbit on my kind of thing on what I want to talk about it too. I'm going to kind of give my input on it as well. We got some flavor talks. We are going to do the milk challenge, the recipes for everybody. Even though this is kind of like a weird day, I know the first of the month, I think, is on Wednesday, folk art. I'm not sure on when Wednesday or Thursday, maybe. I don't know when the first.
Friday. No. Sorry, Thursday.
Thursday.
Thursday. Yeah.
So what we're going to do is with the milk challenge, that is going to be pretty much the show next week. Yeah. So everybody who hasn't submitted a milk challenge that want to, make sure you get those recipes submitted and post those either in our Discord or our Facebook page. Those should be in the
links are in the chat. If somebody has a challenge, a milk challenge they want to post in the Facebook or the Discord.
Yes, that's what it is.
And it's in the description.
Yes, that's it. So real quick, guys, kudos to Russell. He redid our splash screen from us. Awesome job. Shout out to him, and shout out to Retnick Beats, some kick-ass beats that they got going on. So we're going to start the show for you guys. So how's everybody doing? Folk Art, Lewis, Russell, how was your week, man?
Good. Long but good.
Long but good. As usual.
Yeah. Great.
That's what she said. Long but good.
So, real quick before we begin, Folk Art, are we done with clones? I think everybody's anticipating on another clone coming out. I know you had the Looper.
Well, don't be surprised if you don't see something kind of like that.
Jesus
I don't know.
Christ.
I don't
You're
know.
the fucking clone king.
Or wait a minute, I have another one. Or this one here.
Cornbread. Okay.
Yeah.
Country class cornbread pudding.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're the clone king or the clown king?
Clown.
You're the clown. You're the clown that's going out there and spending freaking $20 to $30 on a 30 ml of juice.
That's right.
And you're putting these recipes public that are just spot on, saving everybody a ton of money, and you're not getting a goddamn dime for it.
Not a dime.
So kudos to you for putting those recipes out in the community to save everybody money. Way to go, Folk Art.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, that's what I'm here for, man. Saving people money,
All right. Enough ball breaking. So we want to pop right into the NCR, or we want to talk some flavors. What are we going to do first, guys?
Lewis, if you want to talk about that RDA,
whatever you want, I can start rolling.
I'm gonna.
Are you showing the you guys may remember that we talked about this RDA about a months ago, 3 months ago, when it first came out. We were all kind of excited because the design was innovative. We all wanted to see how it was going to perform. Now that it came out, tremendous news came out as well. The problem being I don't think we can call it the coil, but the heating element, and that thing around that heating element are made of aluminium, and that's the problem. The problem is aluminium, because when you have heated aluminium, it forms something called, give me a second, something called aluminium nitride. And if you can show, Steve, are you showing that PDF?
I've got it right here.
Yeah, I think you got a screen share up there for everybody to see.
Okay, this is the material safety adapter sheet to this chemical compound, aluminium nitride. And if you can roll down, when you see effects of overexposure in inhalation, that's our case. If we are going to vape on it, you will be inhalating this. So at acute, maybe an irritant and possibly corrosive to the nose, to the throat, and mucous membranes, may cause chemical pneumonia, chemical bronchitis, and pulmonary edema. Ammonia gas may cause inhalation to the nose and throat, dyspnea, bronchospasms, chest pain, pulmonary edema, and pink 40 sputum.
So pretty much it just fucks you up in and out.
Yeah, in the long run, it can cause you pulmonary fibrosis. Repeated or prolonged exposure to ammonia gas may cause swelling of the mouth and throat to the point of asphyxiation, permanent injury, and even death. So, you guys, don't vape on it.
Wow. Well,
this thing is pretty nasty.
Here's my question. Nasty. This is the question that I had, and I actually was gonna, when we talked about it live a few months ago, they had it on pre-order. You couldn't order it yet, and I was actually gonna put a pre-order in for it. And the only thing that put me off about it, because I think that's when Paul was on the show, and we talked about it. Paul from Australia. When we talked about it, we were getting a little bit in depth about some of the what the coil was made out of. It was like an SS something, whatever. And I asked him what it was, some kind of alloy or ceramic. I don't know what the hell it was. But honestly, the only reason why I didn't purchase it, it wasn't the look of it, but it only came, I think, in like a 0.5 ohm, the heating element that was in there. Now, the only I question it a little bit about. I mean, I understand the material safety data sheet on the heating element. Now, my only thing is that is that in raw form though, Lewis, or is that after it's manufactured? Because I look at it this way: everything that we use, whether it be any type of plastic, like say plastic, for instance, there's polymers in there. You know, all that shit that they do when they manufacture plastic. Same thing when they manufacture glass, for instance, you know, but when it's a finished product, it's safe for use. Now, granted, you're not inhaling like fucking plastics and stuff like that when you're drinking out of something. But what I'm saying is from the time that these raw materials are put together and then that heating element is actually made. Now, is that heating element going to cause that? At the end of the process when it's made?
The problem is you can touch aluminium. You use aluminium every day. For instance, I don't know how you call it in the United States. You have an aluminium sheet to wrap a sandwich, for instance. That's made
Cellophane.
Cellophane.
No, not cellophane. Cellophane is plastic. That made of aluminium. It's a very thin.
Aluminum.
That wrap. Yeah. The problem in this case is that you're going to use it heated and some high temperature, like 200, 300 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, but
It should be 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And that when you heat it, it will release small particles of it, and you're going to inhale it. And when you inhale it, that can cause all those nasty things.
yes, but that's if the element gets that hot. You're not, I mean, I could see if, like, here's the thing. Same thing with nickel and titanium. We know the reasons why we don't use nickel and titanium pretty much anymore in temp control devices because of the hazardous stuff that comes off of that. Now, when you're dripping juice on there, I mean, I never did temperature readings or anything like that. But yeah, if you're burning off that heating element, I could see the temperatures getting that high. But if you're vaping at, say, like 60 watts or whatever, I don't know, like at 0.5, is it really actually getting up to 400? Is it really actually getting that hot that it's releasing those gases with the juice in there, in the cotton?
For instance, when I vape mouth to lung, I always do it temperature control.
Okay.
And I always have my device to 220 degrees Celsius. 220 degrees Celsius is around 400 and something degrees Fahrenheit. You know, so it is that hot. It is that hot.
Yeah, I'm not
because if it doesn't go that hot, it won't vaporize the juice.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, I'm not defending the company at all. I want to look at it as, you know, there's so many people out there bashing this product. I would just like me personally, I don't vape in temp control. I personally don't see a reason to do it. I mean, I'm not going to get into it on why I don't do it, but I just wanted solid facts on why people should stay away from this. But from what you told me and from what we talked about now, it's kind of giving me that clarification on why I should not buy this product. So I'm kind of glad. I mean, I think at the time when you were the pre-sale before they hit the market, I think it was like under $30. Luckily, it wasn't more expensive than that. So, you know, for the people that did buy it, you know, it's not that much of a hit in the ass, you know, as far as monetary wise. Now, is that the only, like, here's the thing though, with that RDA, is there a way that you could actually, maybe somebody that has one in a chat or something like that, is there a way is that the only thing that you can put in there? I mean, can you put regular coils in there to actually even use the damn thing, or is it just pretty much a paperweight and throw it in the trash?
No, I don't think you can.
I don't think you can put a regular coil in it.
Well, it's a clamping system, right? So couldn't you just? Yeah, you're right, because it depends on how the positive and negative in that are incorporated in that device. I didn't do much research on it. I just seen it. It looked innovative. But like I said, what put me off was the 0.5 ohm, and thank God I didn't purchase it. So I guess it is.
I saw a review where they state that the coil goes around 0.4, 0.5 ohms, and he was reading 0.75 ohms.
Oh,
so
wow!
Even that is not very accurate. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
I think they send out whoever is making this RDA send out this RDA without thinking much of it.
I think they should send out fucking refunds. Is what I think they should do. That's
probably.
It's hazardous to people that are buying this thing. You know, they should step up to the plate and be like, you know what, guys, in the vaping community, we effed up. Here's a freaking refund. Let's go back and retool this thing. Try to make it maybe out of a different, or better yet, go back, rethink it, make the heating element out of some other material that's safer for us to vape. And supply that to everybody that actually bought the goddamn RDA. You know what I mean? Make some other type of heating element out of some other material and say, here, ship it out to the vendors or the whoever sold this thing free of charge, just like a recall on a vehicle. Shit breaks down, it's a recall. You know what? Make it right if you want to, you know, make good on a thing. But
that's it. Essentially, that's it.
That's pretty much.
They fucked up real good.
Yeah.
This one.
You know, like you said, they probably just rushed to the market. It was a hype thing, and it was just one of those things where I guess they didn't think about it too much. And it's, you know, but to add to that, Paul, when we were talking about that, I know that there was a lot of things that Paul was talking about. Some of the big major tobacco manufacturers that make those cigalikes or pod systems or whatever the hell it is, that they're going to try to use some type of material to make a coil, because that's what we were talking about from what I remember, that it's made I think out of like a similar material, but it doesn't get as hot or something like that. We'd have to do more research and talk to Paul about that. But moving on, I mean, I guess so. Just stay away from it, guys.
Yeah, don't get it, guys. Hey, is my mic better? Can y'all?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Okay,
you're good.
Somebody said in the chat that my mic was low.
We got that sexy Southern charm accent.
Okay.
That you have, folklore, you know. So are you guys doing any flavor testings on anything this week?
I haven't done a lot, but I've done some. I got around to testing out this TFA cherry extract.
Oh, is that the one that Shindo was talking about?
Well, they were talking about it on Noted.
Noted.
And I think ID10T made a recipe out of it.
Yeah, they say that's the best one. I think Shindo was saying something about put that in like the cola.
Yeah. You know, I don't know. I mean, everybody's palate is different, but I would say that this is probably on par with Inawera cherries, except it's not as strong as it's a weaker version of that, but it's still nasty. I mean, it is. It tastes like watered down cough syrup. So you know, there's not much I can do with it when it's. I mean, I don't understand how companies can, you know, when they come up with these flavorings. I mean, you know, what are they thinking about when they come up with these flavorings? Because when I bite into a cherry, it does not taste like cough syrup. You know, it tastes like a cherry. It's tart. It's sweet. And really, that's about it. You know, it doesn't have that cough syrup taste to it. But but then when you buy anything that's cherry flavored, they think that it's supposed to taste like cough syrup. Which, you know, and I'm not a chemist. You know, I don't know how difficult this stuff is, but you know, I'm thinking that I'm just going to try to, because I've been searching for a good cherry for a very long time. I think I'm just going to try to build my own cherry and see what I can come up with. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, I got two from Bickford I didn't try yet. My hand tasted them. They kind of tasted like Luden's cough drops, but that's not to say that they're going to vape like that. And here's my thing with a lot of the, depending on what type of fruit it is. And here's the thing, like it's, if you think about it though, I mean, granted you do get that natural sweetness from fruit, from nature. You know what I mean? It's not like you're getting like a super sweet, or like when you're drinking a soda or a pop, you're getting that high fructose corn syrup type of flavor. Now, I think, like, here's the problem though, is the majority of these flavors that we do use in DIY, they're made for the food industry. Right. You know what I mean? And when somebody thinks of that strawberry, like it's more like of a candied maybe type of strawberry,
Right.
and it's kind of hard to represent something like true to its form without being like candied, I guess, because if you're gonna make like unless you're putting fresh cherries or something in some kind of dessert or something like that, to have that cherry flavoring in there, it's gonna be off. Because if you think about it, unless it's like a marinated cherry or you're mixing it with something else, like just how you described it, like when you bite into a cherry, it has sweetness, tartness, sourness, and that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so if you're going to give somebody a flavor and they vape it, they're going to taste sweet, like sour and tart. It's not going to really reminisce or bring something to, like, if you're eating a cherry candy, they're going to be like, this doesn't taste like a fucking cherry. It tastes like it tastes
Right.
it tastes sour. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's just the problem that we run into with the flavors that we have to work with that are for the food industry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Graham has got a post in the chat. He says cherry extract at 5%, Innerware marzipan at 0.5, Wonder Flavors black cherry jelly bean at 0.5. I might have to give that a try.
So that's a stone, cherry stone he's talking about?
Yeah. I will give that a try, Graham.
That's the same one. That's the same one ID10 was talking about today too.
Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did order. You know what? That's another thing about flavors. I didn't do a lot of flavor testings this week, but I did get a lot of flavors in, and I did get a couple super concentrates in from Bull City, and a couple of them were tobaccos, a couple pipe tobaccos, a couple other oddball flavors. But I have to say that the cherry tobacco super concentrate smelled decent. I'll have to give that a try to see how the cherry works in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're hollering for a cherry challenge next month.
No. Hey,
if that's what you guys want in the chat, we'll bring it.
Hell no.
I'm up for it. You know what I mean? All those in favor on the panel right now say,
God.
I'll do it.
Oh,
Okay.
We might as well do a basil challenge.
I've got a few of them.
Man, I'll do it. I don't care. I ain't scared.
Right now, the only one I can stand is Capella's Wild Cherry with the stevia.
Yeah. The only way we can do a cherry on February if we do garlic in March.
I mean, garlic's not bad. It's just the cheese, man. The cheese is bad. That's what's bad. I took the garlic and the wasabi, but the cheese is just straight fucking trash. It's just garbage, any way you look at it. But anyhow. So besides that cherry folk art, if you've been experimenting with anything else this week in your flavors?
I'm still working on my White Russian some. I've got a milk going for the milk challenge. Just toying around with that a little bit, vaping on some stuff that might possibly come out as a clone. I don't know. I haven't mixed a whole lot this week.
Yeah. I mean, I've been toying around with some stuff, whatever I can get in. I've been testing some more of those Flavora, some of the Flavora line. I've been testing some of those. So what I was thinking about doing today is maybe just doing a recipe off the fly, because I really don't have anything recipe-wise to mix up today. So maybe just create something out of just all Flavora, which I've been wanting to do anyway. So some of the flavors that I've been testing this week, maybe I'll just throw those in a mix and see how it turns out at the end of the show. Other than that, I mean, I like you said, I've been working on a cereal. I'm still working on the fruit rings from Bickford, and I've come to find out, I mean, it's a good flavor. I'm not getting that pledge note from it, but it's so weak. You know what I mean? I'm trying to support it with, I think I threw in some FV lemon. I'm letting that steep. I threw in, actually, what I actually toyed with is I threw some TFA fruit circles in there at a very low percentage just to get that lemon note from it, kind of support the fruit circles from Bickford, but I'm still letting it see how it comes through. I think what I might do is I might rework my milk base and maybe try to tone down some of the milk base that I'm doing. I think what it's doing is it's it's overpowering the fruit rings. Even at 5, I think I used it at 5%, like 5. I have to go up to 6% with it just to see if it shines through. Even in a steep, I let it steep for 2 weeks, and it's still not really getting through that milk stone that I got going on in that fruit.
Yeah.
I know I shared the recipe with ID10T. I know I told him it's going to be a banger, which it will be, but it's still in development. It's going to take me a while to really tweak it. So I be honest with you, I want to do it right, and I don't want to rush it for the milk challenge. So it's probably going to take me about another week or two to get that done. But I do have a milk recipe already out there. You know what I mean? It's at mellow milk. It's actually pretty good. A little bit of floral, but it's not like heavy floral.
So that's a melon milk?
Yeah. We could talk about it next week. I think it's just cantaloupe, honeydew, and it's just like a simple milk base. The flavoring's not too high. It's a really good shake and vape. Real nice palate cleansing type vape. You know what I mean? I enjoyed it. I don't make it too often, but it's decent. You know what I mean? It's a decent vape. I might just end up re-releasing that for the milk challenge.
Well, if we're gonna have another week on this week milk challenge, I got 4 milks in. Well, 3 milks in. I already had one. I'm probably gonna try to retool that coconut milk.
Okay.
Nice.
Try to see what I can get out of that.
Russell, didn't you release a recipe? Was it today?
I did.
What's he laughing for?
I don't know.
I made a Nutter Butter cookie this morning.
Nutter Butter. Did you use Wonder? That's another flavor I got in. Not Wonder Flavors. Real Flavors, butter. I think it's like almost, it's supposed to represent a Butterfinger. I haven't flavor tested it yet. So if anybody in the chat has flavor tested that, please let me know. Maybe Emmy.
Yeah.
No, Emily. The only peanut butter or anything I got is this is TFA or TPA peanut butter. And I dropped it and I said, it can't get anything but better. And ID10T and I forget what the other guy's name is. We got into a conversation about it. And he said, yeah, well, too bad that flavor fades after about 3 days. So I had to go in and retool my description and say that at the end of my description. Says, yeah, as long as you vape it for 3 or 4 days, you're good to go. But it's not bad. It's pretty good. I'm sitting here vaping it right now, and you can see I'm.
Oh, you got the recipe up.
I'm already a quarter of the way down to the top of that bottle from where it was, so it's pretty damn good on the shape. So
if you don't mind, if you have that recipe up, Russ, and you want to read it.
I do not.
I didn't get a chance to get anything today. My little one, my 4-year-old, he had a little minor hairline fracture in his pinky he got today. So I'm kind of like just jumping into things today. I didn't get a chance to check anybody's work today. But if you want to read it,
give me a second.
Or if you want to post it in the our chat, I can pop up to look at it.
Yeah, let me grab the link here real quick.
But,
I can read it off if you want me to. There's the link in the chat, guys. If you want to check out Russell's recipe.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Okay. So he's got 0.5% TPA AP. He's got 1% Inawera biscuit, 1.25% Wonder Flavors buttercream frosting super concentrate. He has 0.5% Flavora frosting, 1.5% Cap graham cracker version 2, 5% TPA peanut butter, 2% Cap sugar cookie, and 0.5% Cap super sweet.
Now, is this is supposed to represent what? Did you put a link in the chat so I can see it?
It's supposed to represent a Nutter Butter cookie. I don't know if you ever had those. Have you ever seen those Nutter Butter cookies?
Yes,
that's what it's supposed to be, and it's pretty damn close to it. It still needs a little work, but that's probably because I only have the one peanut butter. If I had another peanut butter, I could probably layer those together and make an even better peanut butter. That's going to last a little while. It's not going to fade.
The peanut butter fading or something on you?
Well, it's gonna fade is the problem. It's good now, But in the next 2 or 3 days, it's going to fade off, and it's going to leave according to ID10T, it's going to leave a nuttiness that's not very peanut butter. You know what I mean?
Russell, you might want to try out the Flavora peanut butter.
I don't have that.
That's
one of those I didn't get.
Maybe you can. I'll
add
get
it.
To maybe. Yeah. Just add it to your list to try it out. It's pretty good. It's good on the peanut part, not so good on the butter part. But it may last a little bit longer than the TPA.
Mm-hmm.
Not fade quite.
I think I mixed those two together. I think I mixed the TPA and I mixed the Flavor together. Like when I was doing a peanut butter, like in a recipe.
Yeah.
I can't remember the percentages that I used. I have it written down somewhere. It worked out well. I think I was doing a peanut butter custard. I don't think I ever released it, but it turned out okay. It was like a really long steep though, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'm not gonna throw that out there and to the public for them to have it steep for so long for it to to come to fullness."
I mean, if it's only going to have a shelf life of a couple of days, that's not a bad small batch type of thing if you need something quick.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, I mean, there's some of the. I actually did finish flavor testing the rest of the Flavora tobaccos, except for the pucker, because I know that Graham said that it's kind of like an additive. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm not going to flavor test that one. So I kind of left that out. I did test the Red Burley. I enjoyed it. It's a really good tobacco. Flavora says it's a dry, nutty. It's a leafier tobacco, has some spice to it.
Medium tobacco.
Yes, I really liked it. I got some ash from it. I got some sweet, spicy notes from it. I really enjoyed that one. The Kentucky, it's okay to me. It has a rich, spicy caramel, medium ash. It wasn't one of my favorites out of Flavoras, but it's an okay to me. I think I mentioned this last week, or last week I talked about this outside the chat or the live. There's the Cavendish. Dude, I didn't like it at all. I'm sorry, Flavora. They said it's just like a woody, spicy anise chocolate type, whatever. I just didn't enjoy it. The Cavendish at all. But everybody
didn't like the anise.
No, the anise. Honestly, I don't think I got anise. I know you can say anise. I don't think I really got anise from it. I did get spicy notes, but I really didn't get like dominant anise notes from the Cavendish, in my opinion.
I'm liking that Oriental and that Tatanka's my favorites out of all.
Yeah, those are really good. Now the Cured, I didn't like at all either. It was just fucking gross in my opinion.
Yeah, I like the Cured, but only on low percentage.
It was too musty, too. I got like plastic notes off that shit. Like I didn't like it at all. Like a rotten type vegetable type. I didn't like it at all. The Virginia.
Tell me again what you got from that.
From the Cured.
Yeah.
It was like it's just fucking nasty, like plastic. That's what I got. Unless I mixed my notes up, because I had two. Here's the thing: I had two more to test, which was the Cured and the Virginia, and I wrote down the notes, and I accidentally reversed them. So I don't know, and I didn't go back to it because one of them was so gross that I didn't want to go back to it.
Well, now from the Cured tobacco, I got somewhat of a real light coffee, brown sugary vanilla.
Yeah, I think Cured is very, very good.
Then
Cured is good to as a supporting role to another tobacco.
Then it might have been the Virginia. Then it was one of them.
I don't have Virginia.
It was one of them that was just I didn't care for. But anyhow, I mean, I tasted those, and I did taste the pound cake for Flavora. I really enjoyed that flavor as well. I get like a real nice, sweet, creamy, buttery, bakery type flavor from it. I could see a lot of uses with that flavor. But that's pretty much.
It seemed like it had like a fluffiness to it, like an angel food cake type of flavor to it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the pound cake flavor. It was pretty decent. And the raspberry from Flavora, I tested that. Wasn't bad. I could see it being used in a lot of recipes. Um, I kind of got like a kind of a fresh raspberry off of it. You know what I mean? I would probably use it in like a recipe with raspberry to kind of get that fresh raspberry type flavor from it, and maybe at around like 3%, maybe. And like if you want it as a supporting note in a recipe, that would probably be what I would go with the raspberry. It's not bad. I enjoyed it. I like Inuera's, to be honest with you. I like Inuera's raspberry better than Flavora's. You know what I mean? But that's my opinion. Everybody has their own opinion. But I did flavor test some of the blueberries. I'm going to come up with a recipe. I'm just looking at some of the flavors that I tested. I'm thinking that maybe I did flavor test the blueberry muffin from Flavora. I did test that. I really enjoyed this flavor. So I'm thinking maybe I might build a recipe today just off of this and try to use all FLB to kind of get blueberry muffin or something.
Yeah,
maybe
I've tried that a couple times, just using one flavor line, and I haven't had a whole lot of success. I haven't tried it that many times, but it can be difficult when you're limited to just one flavor line. Because you know that I know that this other flavor is going to work so much better, but I got to use one flavor line. You know, that's difficult.
Well, what I really like though about this blueberry muffin, it's one of those flavors that like you kind of like want to make it like the star of the show, in my opinion, because it has so much depth to it. Like you get the blueberry and you get like the bakery muffin type bready type of note like with it. So it's kind of like two ingredients in one, to where you can kind of like support it with just some simple ingredients, I think, maybe to come up with a decent vape. It's kind of like it kind of does well on its own. That's why I enjoy that. I really, for me though, I'm thinking the max on this would be pushing it. Would probably be like 3.5%. But I wouldn't go that high. I would probably keep it like if you kind of want to maybe around 2.5%. I think maybe that's what I'm going to do with it in the recipe that I'm going to do today. We'll see. But Lewis, you got anything good, man?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
I do, yeah.
Oh, God. Let's hear what you got, brother. I've been on the loop. Yes.
I tested two flavorings that I really, really, really enjoyed. The first one was macadamia nuts from Wonder Flavors that I got this week from Chefs.
Ooh.
Yeah. And in a scale from 1 to 5, in authenticity is definitely a 5.
Oh, you go.
Yeah, it's a very, very good flavor. Very authentic one. Very creamy, very sweet. I loved it. Very, very, very good. It's a very, very good nut. I think it would go very well with bakeries, with tobaccos, with chocolate. I will go. Definitely, will revisit it and we'll make something with it because it's very, very good. I loved it very, very much. Honestly, it's been a long time that I didn't enjoy a flavoring as much as I did this one.
Now, does it kind of remind you? You said it's a macadamia nut.
Yeah.
Would it remind you of like say hazelnut kind of? No, not really. Like okay.
No, it reminds me of macadamia.
I mean, I know, I know what you mean, but like as far as like using it, like.
Well, now.
Well, it's a nut.
I don't know.
It's a nut. It's a nut. Of course, you can use it like you use a walnut or a hazelnut, but it's a bit different than a hazelnut.
Yeah,
I'm sweeter than hazelnut.
As far as like profiles and like what you can like kind of like push it into, like like how you can use like a hazelnut in a cereal recipe or to add like a creaminess to a recipe is what I kind of meant, I guess. Like, you know what I mean? Or is it kind of like a good?
Well,
like,
it's a creamy flavor, but I think the flavor is much more noble than just to use it just to give creaminess to
Okay.
juice.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was
It's
after.
much more noble than that. It has a personality of its own. That's why I told you can use it in bakeries, but you can use it as the main ingredient.
Oh, okay.
Not a supporting ingredient. You should use it as a main ingredient because it's very very good. I love it
I'm gonna
very
have to
much.
I'm gonna have to
Lewis,
check it out.
what,
Yeah.
Lewis, what percentages did you test that out?
I used 1%. I tried 1% and 2%. You don't need definitely you don't need to go that high. For now, I only single flavor tested it. I didn't mess around with it much, but as a single flavor test, I think 1% is more than enough.
You know, there's some recipes out there that take hazelnut and they put it in like a milk base to help turn it into a better milk. Well, with the macadamia nut, I was surprised that you said that it had a creaminess to it. Well, I wasn't surprised because I've been using it as some people use hazelnut in their milks in my milk recipe, and it just adds so much more depth to the creaminess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds kind of.
Well, you can use it. I'm not saying that you can't use it that way. Definitely you can.
Yeah.
But I think that it's so good that you can use it as the star of the show.
Hey, has anybody tried using almond?
I do use it, but I'll use it for other things, not too much in a. You know, I use that as like a supporting or underneath the recipe. I don't really kind of like push almond in any of my recipes. But why do you, Daddy Kane?
I haven't yet, but I was just wondering if I should. I might try some experimentation.
Almond is kind of weak flavor. Or at least the ones I know, say TPA or even Flavor Art, they are kind of weak.
I want to say I have Flavora almond.
Well, I use Flavor Art almond a lot. I like that one.
Some people use almond to bolster their cherries.
Yeah. I actually used it in one of my pie recipes. I used it to kind of incorporate an almond undertone to like my crust. It was like because they offer it in it's a recipe. I think it was my lemon cheesecake that I used because it's a gluten-free. Because I could eat fucking gluten-free. They make a gluten-free version of cheesecake, and they use crushed almonds as like the crust instead of like regular graham cracker or whatever they use because it has gluten in it. So they use almonds, and I wanted to get that almond note in with that cheesecake. You know what I mean? So I kind of made the crust like to give it that almond like note that you get from that cheesecake that I ate, and it was really good. It really kind of like stood out just like the original, you know, that I got from the store. You know, It really worked out well.
Nice.
A low percentage, you know. But so, if you guys got any questions,
the second flavoring that I was going to talk about is a flavor that I've got for some time, but didn't even tried it. But today I did. I want to do something with it too. Is Forest Fruits from Flavor Art, and it is very very good too. It's sweet, not very tart. It's sweet. I get some strawberries and I get some. Some orange or some not orange, more like a mandarin or a tangerine from it. It's very good. The only problem with it is it's kind of a weak flavor. You have to go being a flavor art flavoring. I thought it. For a start, I mixed only at 1%. At that 1%, it was too weak. You have to go higher, even 3%, which is kind of odd. Which is kind of odd with a flavor art flavor, but that's the only down point with it. but the flavor, it's very, very good. I mixed it with with an Noel raspberry, and it popped very, very much because the raspberry gave some tartness, some sourness, and it's very, very good. I see using it in an ice cream. An ice cream with forest fruits probably would be very, very, very nice.
Yeah, yeah. That's a very underutilized flavoring, I think. Because it really
yes,
is.
Yes, it is. I don't know why, because it's very good.
Yeah, I mean, if you want something really bright and refreshing, that's one of the fruits that I would use. I mean, it's a combination of fruits, obviously, but it's really nice. Good for a spring type vape or something like that. Springtime, summertime vape.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I enjoy it too. It's really bright. I like it. I love that flavor.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. So
it's most of it. It's most of what I messed around this week was these two flavors.
Okay, awesome. Where'd Daddy Kane go? He took off on us, man.
I don't know. Hey guys, we got Black Mama Vapes in the chat. He put out an awesome recipe. This past week.
I vaped that whole banana. I vaped it. I think in a day it was gone.
Yeah. I'm still missing the Bananas Foster. I'm going to have to get that.
Yeah, there was somebody, I think, in a Facebook group that actually asked a question if they could sub, or unless it was on ATF, they asked if they could sub, or not sub, I'm sorry, not use the Bananas Foster from TFA or TPA. And yeah, you can, but it won't be the same because that TFA Bananas Foster gives it the like brown sugary caramel. It actually supports the banana cream. The banana in there supports the banana cream to give it more of like a fuller banana flavor. And you get a nice, like I said, like kind of like a caramelized brown sugar, caramel type flavor to the vape. It kind of like rounds it off. It kind of gives it that topping. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's to make it to what it is. Yeah, it's really, really, really good. So for you guys out there in the chat that don't watch the beginner, the B2B, back to the basics for the new mixers out there, check that out on ATF. Maybe Folkart can post a link down there in the chat for you guys to check out Black Mama's banana cream pie recipe. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. Even with the super sweet in there, the Capella super sweet, it's not overly sweet. It just kind of gives it that touch of sweetness to it. It really hits the spot. I really liked it. He really did utilize a lot of the flavors that he had in his arsenal for that recipe. So for you guys that don't know about that, though, back to the basics, that is on Wednesdays at 7 Eastern Standard Time. Wow. Something fell there. But anyhow, yeah. So yeah. Speaking of Black Mamba, I think Black Mamba, he's on Juiced. He's a regular on Juiced on Steam Room's show, and that's on at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. I might be wrong. I think that's on like pretty much right after this. So for you guys in the chat, make sure you check out Steam Room. I think Paul is on there from Australia, and Black Mamba will be on there. So check them out. You know what I mean?
Speaking of Steam Room, have any of y'all seen the video that he put out about a week ago?
Mm-hmm. About what?
Yeah, very nice video.
Here's the link to it. I'm gonna put it in the chat here.
I'm gonna while you guys chat about flavors and stuff like that, I'm gonna try to get some of those Flavora flavors together for that recipe. So
okay,
keep talking and do what you're gonna do.
Okay, so this link here in the chat is it's a short video, short movie that Steam Room put out, and with all the bad publicity that vaping gets in the mainstream media, this is kind of the other side of that. It shows vapors, people who vape, people who mix, helping other people out that may be looking for a better life, better health, all that kind of stuff. It's really cool. Very, very well done. So Big shout out to Steam Room. Vapes on that. Yeah. Let's see if I can.
Yeah,
find
very good to see.
Very
it's a very short video that you can see very quickly. You can show other guys.
Yep.
Very nice.
Very uplifting. With all the bad shit that's going around in our world today.
Good job, Steam Room.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just talking to my wife, and I was taking my son to the doctors. And she's not a smoker or former smoker or vapor or anything like that. And I don't vape in my vehicles or anything like that when my kids are in the car. Even though they've done tests and stuff like that in vape lounges and stuff like that to say that the air quality is pretty much the same whether or not there's vapor in the actual air.
Yeah.
It's the same carcinogens and everything. The air quality is pretty much the same, if not the same, when they did air testing and stuff like that in these vape shops. But she always gets on me about vaping, about it's worse for you than cigarettes, this, that, and the other. I say, and we get into this argument every time we're driving in a goddamn car. We get in this argument about vaping. That shit's bad for you, this and that. I said, okay, the standard cigarette, for instance, like a Marlboro Red or whatever, is roughly 2.4. It's 24 milligrams, 2.4 grams or whatever the hell it is. It's 24 milligrams roughly of nicotine per cancer stick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I said, when I first started vaping, I was on 24 milligram, and I tapered down all the way to where I'm at now, 3, which I could probably go lower, but I still like my Nick fix, every once in a while. And I says, you got to understand, that's 8 times less than what I used to smoke. And I used to smoke about a pack and a half a day of cigarettes, And I says, you show me the data. I says, how about this? I says, I already got the research because we do this shit day in and day out at the DIY Mixers crew. We know some of the independent studies and stuff like that have been put out there in the community, and we have the results. We know what vaping is. I'm not saying that it's safe, but it is a safer alternative to smoking cigarettes, hands down. Okay. I says, okay, let's do this. I says, you go out, and she's a nurse, by the way. I says, you go out and you get your independent, your studies, whatever you think that's bad with vaping. And I said, we'll compare notes at the end of the day. You know what I mean? We'll sit down and we'll compare notes, and you'll see that it's a safer alternative to cigarettes.
95% safer.
And here's the thing. When I used to smoke, I used to wake up in the morning and literally just cough my freaking head off, just brown. I know it's disgusting, and we're pretty much all former smokers here.
Yeah.
I used to cough up like brown phlegm and just hack and wake up in the middle of the night and hack my brains out. Since I've been vaping, I do not do that. I do not wake up in the morning and cough my head off, coughing up phlegm balls. I can walk up a flight of stairs without being winded. My lungs are repairing themselves. You know what I mean? Yeah. So for me, it's a godsend. I love it. You know what I mean? I love vaping. It's for me, it's so much better. It's a healthy alternative to cigarettes, in my opinion. You know what I mean? I hands down. And she goes, well, and this is her rebuttal. She goes, well, there hasn't been long-term studies yet. You guys that sit there and vape, I'm telling you what, in 20 years, you're gonna eat your words, and you're gonna come down this, that, and the other. I says, there's already been people out there that have been vaping for 8-9 years, and they've been to the doctors, and their lungs are fucking clear. They're good. Their oxygen level is tremendously rebounded from them smoking. So you can tell me all the horse shit that you want, but at the end of the day, it worked for me. You know what I mean? It worked for me at the end of the day.
Well, there's so much misinformation out there, and I've found that most people's opinions are formed by what they hear from somebody, not really what they have found out on their own. It's more of just an impression, and my wife, she doesn't vape, but she hates these things. She don't mind me vaping, but she hates these big boxes and stuff. It looks scary to her, And if you're outside, around other people, and break out this big giant box and you're blowing these big old clouds, the first thing that pops in their head is that's got to be bad for you because it looks bad.
Yes. Yes. I think that's the misconception.
Yeah, that's the thing. It looks bad, and just because it looks dangerous. So I think that's where most people really form their opinions on stuff like that.
Oh, and that's another thing too. I got in an argument. They had this thing because when we had that 40% vape tax hike in Pennsylvania, like a year ago, whatever the hell it was, and they were really cracking down on public vaping and stuff like that in restaurants or any type of business for that. They passed that law here in Pennsylvania where you can't vape anywhere. Like it used to be where you could do it like in bars and like restaurants and stuff like that. Now it's like you can't do it freaking nowhere in my state. And the hilarious thing is I remember when they first came out with like cigalikes and stuff like that, they used to run freaking infomercials at like 2:00 in the morning, and they have old people sitting there with looked like a cigarette and like a fake flame. And like it'd sit there in a restaurant, and be like, oh, you could smoke in restaurants. It's not really smoking. It's vapor. It's water vapor. So it's safe. This, that, and the other. Mm-hmm. Now, with all these rules and regulations, it's like they were running infomercials years ago. Now they're fucking banning everything. But long story short, I got in an argument with, I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to have no like legal issues with DIY's Mixers crew. But
please,
they had like a vape advocate on one of our local radio stations, and they were doing an interview on vaping, this, that, and the other. And the talk show host was just like bashing vaping like nonstop. And I was like on my phone, just texting everybody that I knew in vaping advocacy. I was like, you got to tune into this, listen to this bullshit that this guy's spewing on public radio. You know what I mean? It was just like, I was like ready to throw up. And I was at work, and I was like, you know what? F this. I got on the phone, and I called the radio station, and I got in a freaking argument with the guy, the talk show host. I said, first of all, I didn't swear, but I wanted to so bad because he probably would have hung up on me. I wanted to say, ass clown. I said, first of all, ass clown, vaping isn't smoking. I said, there's no fucking smoke that comes out of a mod, an RDA, or whatever type of device that somebody's using. I says, it's fucking vapor. It's not smoke. I said, so stop calling it smoke. I says, and another thing, I says, the vaping community doesn't target children. I says, you're going to get some fuck-offs that come out with these juices that have like fucking like Disney characters or, Sesame Street, whatever the fuck it is. And those are the few bad apples that ruin it for everybody, because that kind of shit leaks out to the mass, and it puts a bad name on vaping. And I said, first of all, he goes, well, they're coming out with these, and he started rebutting against me. He's like, well, they're coming out with these cherry flavors and these ice creams, and he was making it all extravagant. I'm like, you know what, buddy? I was like, you're so full of shit. I says, why don't you get your facts straight? And I said, do some goddamn research before you start bashing on what vaping's all about. Long story short, and he starts, oh, don't yell at me, this, that, and the other. And we were screaming back and forth on the radio, and he actually fucking hung up on me. And this day, I won't tune into that asshole anymore. And like I says, I'm not going to say any names, but yeah, that really pissed me off because he was bashing it to no end. He said he had all these studies with Pitt Medical Center and all this other bullshit. I says, you know what? I said, that's all bullshit. I says, go out and do some real research. I said, and then get back to us. I says, but other than that, I said, kiss my ass.
Like I was saying, most people form their opinion on just ideas that they've heard and stuff, and things that they see, and if it seems wrong or seems bad, that's what they're going to believe, and it is just a belief because there's nobody knows for sure what all these compounds that we're using really does in long term. They really don't. But they do know what cigarettes do to you, and that shit's bad. So and if you feel better doing it, then we should have the choice to do that no matter what.
Correct. And I mean, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent and off on a rant on that, but it just pisses me off that, like you said, that the general public and even in like public personalities just have the wrong persona about vaping. It's like do that instead of like listening to the bad things that you hear I mean, granted, he's in talk radio and news and stuff like that, and of course he's going to get mainstream, evidence on vaping. But and that's the thing. He was an investigative reporter. It's like, go out and investigate, bro. It's like, actually do the homework and really find out what it's about before you start bashing it. You know what I mean? And that's what pissed me off about it.
People love to listen in to radio shows like that where people argue too. That may have been part of it.
Well, he's not getting my ratings anymore. I can tell you that. Screw him, dude. Screw him. And it was a him. It wasn't a her. It was a him.
Okay.
But anyway,
he won't have mine either.
So what else we got before I grabbed a couple flavors?
What you mixing up?
I don't know. You want me to start mixing then, I guess?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Sure. Yeah.
Pour some flavorings in there.
Well, I got to get a bottle. Hold on. I got to get a bottle. So I was thinking, I've kind of and this is going to be all Favora. Now, just looking at these flavors that I picked out, I mean, and to be honest with you, I could probably maybe make it better. I don't know. I didn't vape it yet, so I don't know. Could probably make it better with something just by looking at it. I didn't even type it in yet. I could probably make it better with some other concentrates, but like other companies. But I want to try to stick to an Alphavora recipe here. And we're going to see how this goes. I'm going to switch my cameras here, see what's going on. So if you guys got any questions in the chat, make sure you tag us at DIY Mixers Crew. And thank you for everybody showing out. I seen ML Nikon, Mil Nikon in there. I seen Digital Drops. Thanks for stopping out. Who else was in there? Mr. Berg.
I see Pippa in there. Yep.
Pippa, Black Mamba, my man Black Mamba. I see him in there. I see Shindo's in there. What's up, my dude? I see you got a wrench. So don't be typing any inappropriate websites on there, buddy. No, I'm just kidding. Hold your own, bro.
So what particular profile are you going after on this mix?
Well, with me really enjoying that blueberry muffin from Favora, I was thinking maybe just doing like a plain blueberry muffin. Like, you know what I mean? Like kind of like one that you get from like a Dunkin' Donuts or like a bakery or something like that. Because I am a bakery fan, and I hold true to my roots. I still love bakeries. You know what I mean? So I still love my bakeries. So I'm thinking I'm just going to kind of highlight this flavor today. And so basically what I'm going to use, what I picked out, and I'm going to try to work with these flavors is, hold on, I got to get on my ATF account.
Well, Shindo's already started posting porno sites on the chat.
Here we go. I'm not going to say what type of porno sites. I tell you what, whatever. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I got to get it on my ATF account here. Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to type in multitask here. So we're going to do a blueberry muffin, I guess, hopefully. We'll see how it pans out. Okay. I usually don't mix on the fly, but we'll see how this works out. And my computer is just running slow as shit today.
So Sub Vapes has a question, and we probably can't do that today, Sub Vapes, but we will try to do that. He's asking, could we do something with lime? We might could do that on maybe not next week, but on another show. Another episode, do something with lime. And if are we going to have the Zoom room open after the show tonight?
Sure, we can have it for a little bit. That's not a problem.
Sub Vapes, if you want to join our Zoom room after the show, maybe we could talk about lime in there.
Real quick though, if you if Folkart can do a search real quick.
Chicken Vape has a really nice lime cheesecake.
Yes. I was going to say, check my lime cheesecake out. You won't be disappointed. I'll see if I can post the recipe because I'm in my account right now, Folkart. I'll see if I can post that recipe. It's so far down into my recipes. Or just tag, you know what? Actually, go under all the flavors, and what you want to do is go to the more section and click on mixers. But I'll still put a link on there. Type in my my
I'll get
AKA Jake and Vape 007, and you're going to get the lime recipe for him so I can get this plugged in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get
You can type in my name and you'll see my lime cheesecake in there. It's actually really good. It utilizes FA lime, and it really works out really well. It's a decent recipe. I like it. I make it once in a while and vape on it. I can vape on it all day, but it's one of those things where I'm just stubborn. I always go back to my custards and shit like that when I vape.
I'm gonna try to dive into some more custards in about a month or so. I need to come
once you go custard, bro, I'm telling you, you're gonna be your all day vape. I don't know what the hell is wrong with my lighting in here today. It's just I'm getting like glare for some reason. I don't know why. But anyhow, so basically the flavors I picked out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different flavors from Vivora I'm going to use today. And the first one that I'm going to use, it's going to kind of be the star of the show. Let me make sure my camera. Take my fucking lighting. Jesus Christ. So it's going to be Vivora. Let me switch cameras here before I start mixing. Because my other cameras, it's got a better lens in it. It's a little bit higher quality than my mixing camera.
Put it in front of your face.
Yeah, I know. Let me put my hand up there. Blueberry muffin. I'm going to be using from Vivora. Greek yogurt from Vivora. I'm going to be using Greek yogurt. Marshmallow from Vivora. Now, I just grabbed these flavors, so we'll see how they pan out. Regular blueberry from Vivora. I'm using that. Regular blueberry. I grabbed boysenberry. We'll see how this works out in there. I'm going to use Vivora's boysenberry in there. And then the last one I got is Vivora cream. I'm going to throw some maybe Vivora cream in there.
Nice.
Sorry, my lighting's all jacked off today for some reason in my mixing room. I don't know why my cameras aren't zooming in too good. So basically, I'm gonna try to make the blueberry muffin kind of like the star of the show, because like I said, when I flavor tested it, I really enjoyed the bakery aspects of it with just that blueberry note in it, and I think the reason why I grabbed, just by looking at some of the Vivoras and try to get a blueberry muffin, I wanted to kind of I needed a supporting blueberry note. So I did grab the Vivora blueberry. Now, granted, I did single flavor test the Vivora blueberry also. And I get like more of a sweeter candy type blueberry from Vivora. I think I could probably get maybe a better representation of a fresh blueberry from like Hankson's or HS blueberry, but I didn't mix it yet, so I don't know. We'll see how it's going to pan out. I know I might get some kind of candied effect to it, but like I said, I want to keep it off Vivora. Now the boysenberry, I don't know why I grabbed that. I figured maybe just throw that in the mix to see how it plays with the berries. You know what I mean? To kind of give it more of the fruity aspect in it.
Mm-hmm.
To kind of mix it up a little bit to kind of create like a stone. Because it's not like my usual stone that I use for blueberry. So I grabbed the boysenberry and blueberry. I'm going to pair those together to, I guess, supplement the muffin. I'm sorry, the regular Vivora blueberry. Now, the cream and the Greek yogurt, where this is going to come in, I grabbed those two is because I needed something when I single flavor tested the Vivora blueberry muffin. I'm not saying it's dry, but I wanted kind of like that. If you guys ever get a pack of blueberry muffins, you know what I mean, and then you put like cellophane or plastic wrap on them, and you throw one in your lunch, and then halfway through the day, you open that up, and it's kind of got like that moistness, that plastic draws that moistness out to the top of the blueberry muffin on the cap of the muffin.
Yep.
I wanted to get that like that, because what ends up happening is that I guess that sugar, that natural sugar, I guess, that you get from the blueberries kind of sinks up into the top cap of the muffin, And then when that condensation from the sugar and that from the muffin kind of gets up in there, you need that wetness kind of. So this is kind of where like the Greek yogurt I think is going to play in there, as well as the cream to kind of give it a little bit of fullness. And then the reason why I picked the Flavora marshmallow, I'm thinking and I'm hoping that it's going to take off some of the sharp edges that I get off of that Flavora blueberry, because like I said, it's kind of candyish. So I kind of want to, in that boysenberry, same thing. I kind of want to get those sharp notes off of those those concentrates. So give me a second here to kind of like think this out here.
Okay.
I could screen share the recipe, Folkart, if you want. I might have to zoom it in a little bit.
Can you just put the link up there and I can share it?
Yeah, I don't know if I can. I don't know how to do that, dude.
Can you put it up in the Zoom chat?
Wait. Yeah, I got it. Hold on. Copy link. Let me make sure I got everything. I got to type in what I need. Hold on.
Is it? Did you release it?
No, I didn't even make it yet. I'm just trying to do this on the fly here. So what I'm thinking is maybe doing the hold on. Let me switch cameras here. I'm going to type this in, and then I'm going to share it with Folkart. So what I'm thinking as far as the blueberry muffin, like I said, I wouldn't go anywhere over like 3.5. So maybe I would go like maybe 2.75% on the blueberry. And then
Shake, just do a screen share on that.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Sorry, guys. I'm almost done typing the stuff in, because when you were doing it, just give me 1 second, and then I'll screen share it. I got 2 more flavors that I got to type in.
All right.
So as I'm typing in the last flavor, I'll just breeze through them, and then I'll screen share it. I did the Flavora blueberry at 0.75. I threw that in there. The Flavora boysenberry at 0.25. Flavora cream at 0.5%. Greek yogurt at 0.15%. Now the marshmallow, hold on. Maybe half, quarter. I would say marshmallow, I'm only going to put at maybe 0.1% in there, just to, because I really don't want that marshmallow not anything.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put that at 0.1. Okay, let me screen share here. Sorry, I got to go to my other monitor. I'm going to screen share. Screen share. There you go. You guys see that? Let me blow it up a little bit.
That's good.
So here's the recipe. I'm going to give you a link, Folkart, because what I'm going to do is once I give you the link, that way you can post it up there, and I'm going to go straight to my camera.
Okay.
We have this up. So here's this. Where the hell do I find the link? There it is, right there. Right click that. Copy link. Okay, let me go. I'm going to stop screen share so you can screen share this.
Okay.
I'm going to post this in here in the chat here. Wait, there you go. You should have it right now. And then I'm going to go back to my mixing cam.
All right.
I'm going to mix this up. So the percentages I think are kind of like safe. And just by looking at the recipe, typing it out, I think it'll play decent. I guess we'll see. You know what I mean? I'm going to vape it and we'll see what happens here. Okay, so let me get my recipe up here. I'm going to mix this up here. All right. Okay, we're going to mix up 30 mils, I guess. Hopefully it'll be good.
So
okay, so it starts off.
So Black Mamba was suggesting how about a blueberry muffin milkshake? That sounds pretty damn good.
Yeah, it does.
Don't it?
Blueberry milkshake.
How do you milkshake a muffin?
How do you milkshake?
I don't know.
Okay, so yeah, so what? Since Black Mama's in the chat, tell him since he's like an all-star now,
Yeah.
and his recipe kicked ass. Why don't he tell us how he would do it? How about that there, Black Mamba?
There we go.
So we need 0.22 of this. Now, just by calculating this recipe, but it's so funny when he types something.
Black Mom is saying you add some mamba venom to it.
Mamba venom, okay. And this recipe total only has 4.5%. So we're going to see how this plays out. 0.83.
Well, take my word for it. Low percentage recipes are just fine.
Yeah, speaking of that, folk art, you were talking shit Wednesday. You was like, your fucking recipes are.
No, I was just referring to the fact that most of my recipes are super low, and not everybody uses percentages that low in their recipes. That's all I meant to say. Most people, not just you, most people. You know,
oh yeah.
Most people, when they see a recipe of 4 or 5%, they're just like, "Well, that's not enough flavoring in there."
Well, that's because you vape like Max VG, right?
Yeah, I do. Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought. You know.
Do you in the United States have homeopathy?
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
Yes.
What? What do you say?
Well,
Homeopathy?
Not a homeopathy.
What the fuck?
Homeopath.
What the hell is that?
Isn't that
well,
like?
it's a well, I don't know if you can call it a science, but it's a technique, let's say like this, that uses medicines in very, 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 very low quantity or very low dosage.
Okay.
So we could start a vaping homeopath.
It sounds like okay. I'm not going to go any further than that. But,
yeah, I think we should stop right here.
so you said you're going to be smoking a homo. You fucking lost me, bro.
Okay, just stop. That's good enough right there. Let's leave that one alone, guys.
I think we're lost in translation.
Pretty much. We'll just leave it at that, dude.
Okay.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with smoking pool. I don't see nothing wrong with that, man. Hey, if that's your thing, you know what I mean. Greek yogurt, I went really, really low, because I've actually flavor tested this a long time ago, and it can be strong. I just want to kind of give it that kind of support that, give it that creaminess, that kind of body to the recipe.
Now,
marshmallow.
Does that Flavora Greek yogurt have like a sourness? Say like
it's
like TPA Greek yogurt.
Yeah, it's pretty pungent. It's not as bad as TPA. I get a little bit more creaminess off of it than I do from TPA. TPA, to be honest with you, it's a lot like more pungent. It's been a while since I used it. I don't know if you would agree with that, folk art. It's been a long time since I used that flavor. What,
the TPA?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long time too. I think in one of my very first recipes that I made public, it was I used it at like 0.5% in a cheesecake recipe. It was oh gosh, what was the recipe now? Oh, Mama Slap cheesecake. And it seemed to work pretty good in that cheesecake.
Okay. 4. I'm actually running low on nicotine, man. I'm like getting like super low. I'm like down to the bare bones, but I just actually put in an order. I think it was this morning. It was either this morning.
How's the flavor marshmallow compared to flavor rods?
It's not bad.
You can sub one for the other?
Yeah, I would. I mean, you can. You know what I mean?
Same percentage?
Yeah, but to me, honestly, I really don't work with marshmallows. And the only reason why I worked with marshmallows in this recipe is I just wanted to use it for... See, here's the thing. I'm using an all Favor recipe. You know what I mean? I know just by looking at... I probably could have made it a little bit like flavorful or better. Like, you know what I mean? As far as like to complement, like, say, the blueberry muffin. To me, what comes to mind, maybe I could have used like a waffle, like a TFA waffle or something like that, to kind of give it more of a texture to like the blueberry. But you know what I mean? I kind of want to just stick to the Flavora line here, see how it pans out.
You did say that you basically just wanted to build a muffin. You wanted something that would highlight the blueberry muffin.
Correct.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's basically what I want to do here. I don't want to over drip my Nick, guys. I'm sorry. Last time I did that last show, I think it was like I doubled the nicotine and I almost passed the fuck out. I actually had to throw that recipe away, dude. It was just way too much nicotine in there, dude. It was making me dizzy and shit. 2838. So for you new guys out there, that if you guys are watching, make sure you guys really watch your nicotine if you're using 100 milligram, because maybe a 0.01 or 0.02 gram might not make a difference, but a half a gram is going to make a world of difference.
Yeah.
In your recipes. So, folk art, while I'm throwing my VG in here, why don't you, if you could, or Lewis, or one of you guys, upcoming shows that are going to be coming on?
Upcoming shows. Yeah. We have Back to the Basics on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we take Black Mamba Vapes on his journey of mixing. So tune in to that. We'll be last week we mixed up a recipe with some of the flavors that he had. We just picked out some. He was wanting to work with banana. I'm not sure exactly what he said he was going to be working on this week. I forget, but he was wanting to do something with apple as well. So I think that may be it for this Wednesday. And we're just taking a young mixer through the trials and tribulations of mixing and showing him a few little tricks and helping him out. So come join that. We also next Sunday, I suppose, we'll be doing the milk challenge, taking all the milk challenge recipes that people's put out there for us, and I'm going to do my best to get all of the flavorings needed to mix all of those recipes. If I can't get a flavor, I'm sorry, but I'm going to do my best. So that I don't want to show a recipe and comment on it unless I've mixed it up. So I'll do my best to mix them all up, and we'll feature those next Sunday right here, 4:30 Eastern Time p.m.
Cool.
Yeah. So speaking of Black Mamba, he's doing an excellent job on a show. I think he's an excellent, wonderful, phenomenal addition Back to the Basics. He does an excellent job, very attentive. He's very eager to learn, and I think that's great. And I think that can bring a lot of new mixers to watch that show. Speaking of shows, if you like our content that we put out, make sure you hit that like button and make sure you subscribe to our channel for up and coming episodes and events that we hold for DIY Mixers crew, especially the challenges that we put out every month. And that's also tied in with Noted, that comes on every Monday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I believe.
Yes.
So tune into them guys, because a lot of the flavor testing, single flavor testings that they do with ID10T, Chiba Steva, and Mill Nikon, they do an excellent job of breaking down some of the manufacturers that put out these flavors, like Flavor West, Inuera, TFA, Flavor Art, all those Flavora, all those companies out there, they sit there, they'll do a milk or banana or whatever the hell it is, you know what I mean? And they'll test 9 or 10 of them live and just give you their notes and their thoughts on a flavor and what they think that the best flavor is out there, best representation of a milk or a banana or a strawberry or whatever. Those guys do an excellent job. And the good thing about that is, all their palates are different. They agree to disagree. Some of them agree, some of them disagree. I know ML Nikon or Mill Nikon and ID10T, they're always arguing about, I hate this, I love this. They're always back and forth. That's what makes the show interesting. And like I said, we tie that in with the DIY Mixers Crew DMC challenge that we put on every month. We pick a flavor You guys put those out there, and thanks for supporting us.
Yep.
We appreciate our subscribers that we have out there. So to run through this recipe real quick, I really don't mix up any of my recipes, but we didn't have anything to mix up today, so I kind of just did a recipe on the fly. Hopefully it's good. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I've always wanted to do a all Favora recipe, and this is just going to be a nice blueberry muffin. I think the percentages that I used are pretty decent. It might need some tweaking. I don't know. I haven't vaped it yet. So real quick, basically the recipe, Favora blueberry, I used at 0.75%. Favora blueberry muffin at 2.75%, which I want to be the star of the show. Favora boysenberry at 0.25%. I just used that to accent the Favora blueberry, incorporate it with the blueberry muffin. The Favora cream at 0.5, Greek yogurt at 0.15. Those two are there to kind of give it that stickiness, that wetness that you get at the top of the cap of the muffin. And then the Favora marshmallow, I did at 0.1%, is to kind of hoping that it kind of like takes off those sharp edged candy edges that I get off the Favora blueberry. It's kind of like more of a candied blueberry to me. I'm sorry. But like I said, hopefully, it'll take off those edges, but still allow some of that sweetness to kind of get in there, because usually like the blueberry muffins that I get around here, say from Dunkin' Donuts or Sam's Club or Walmart or whatever, the sugar kind of pushes up to the top, and you kind of get that sweetness that you get at the top of the blueberry muffin from the sweetness from the blueberries. We'll see how it works. You know what I mean?
Let's vape that shit, man.
Let's vape it, man. Let's see how it is. Let me burn off the rest of this crap I got on here. Oh, speaking of vaping, I'm still using the Tesla, dude. I'm still using the Tesla. I changed the top cap, and I'm still using the dual coil Dead Rabbit. So far, dude, I'm still loving it, man. This battery life on this Tesla is like fucking phenomenal, dude. I really enjoy it. And I did make the mistake of over dripping twice, because and I don't recommend this. Don't drip and drive. Not drink and drive. Don't drip and drive.
That's more dangerous.
Yes, I was driving, and it was like fucking pitch black outside, and I was like just blah, and I turned my mod to the side when I was turning up my radio, which I shouldn't have been doing anyway. And I accidentally it kind of came out of the one top spout, or the top air hole there, and it just it kind of got like all over the place. But that was the only time I over dripped it so far. So far, I'm really enjoying the Dead Rabbit and the Tesla.
I'm gonna have to get that. I've heard a lot of good things about it.
But the Dead Rabbit, yeah, it's a good dude. I'm telling you, man, it's a good RDA. Like I said, my only gripe, and I still hold to this. I figured that it would break in, but I don't take the top cap off too much of this thing. Like I said, I usually either drip it right into the drip tip. With it being an 810, the drip tip kind of comes off really nice, and I just drip right in when I take the 810 off, or I drip it right on top. Now, the only thing is, that's pretty good. Now, the only thing is that the airflow design still sucks. I'm sorry. Not the design, but the top cap. Like, it's so freaking hard to adjust your airflow on here.
All right.
Like I said, I think that with the single coil, like when I talked about last week, with the single coil Dead Rabbit, they should come out with a V2 where it locks the top cap in there. So it's easier to adjust your airflow. But we'll see how this vapes. It smells good.
Five stars.
No. I gotta get my own.
Six stars.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, you gave 6 to that damn, what was the macadamia, whatever the fuck it was. I thought you were gonna pull a.
It was. I didn't do nothing. I just mixed it with PG and VG. Nothing else.
I'm gonna just buy the flavor and fucking vape it 10% the way you're talking about it, like single flavor. Yeah,
1% is more than enough.
But honestly, that's the first time I've actually besides panna cotta, that's like one of the flavors that you really enjoy, I'm assuming. So I'm gonna have to buy it just to try it.
It's good. Yeah. It really is. I don't enjoy it. I think as quite as much as Lewis does, but I think it goes really well with milks and probably bakeries and everything else. It's just a really smooth flavor.
Wow, this is just for mixing this up like off the fly, it's not bad. Like I said, just by vaping it, I get the bakery, the muffin. You know what I mean? I get the muffin in a bakery. It's really there. And just by smelling the after from my vape, that muffin is like really there. Now, the boysenberry and blueberry play well with the blueberry muffin. It works really well. But I'm still getting that candiness from the blueberry, the flavor blueberry. Now, that could be a good thing because I'm not getting that much like super sweetness from this vape. I think that the flavor blueberry adds that sweetness that you actually need if you was to kind of add like Capella Super Sweet, you know what I mean, to it. Kind of gives it that like pucker, like sweetness that you actually want, like that candiness. Mm-hmm. Because I think and those creams and that yogurt, I think really work well with that muffin. What I'm getting off it right now, because it kind of blends it to where, like I said, it gives it that wetness, and that wetness like will push it up to the top cap. And once I think it steeps like after a day, I think it's really going to play well with that sweetness of the flavor blueberry and the flavor boysenberry to give it that kind of like sugary top coating that you get on the top cap. So I think that the flavor blueberry incorporated in here would do good. Now, like I said, I really enjoy Hangson's HS blueberry. You might be able to throw that in there, but all in all, and that marshmallow I think kind of did its job to kind of take off of that like little bit of harshness. Now it is a little bit of harsh, like off the mix, but I think if you give it maybe like a day or two, like maximum 3, I would say like a day or two, that blueberry is probably going to tone down a little bit. Like even at the 0.75% combined with that boysenberry, it's kind of throaty at the beginning, but I think that once it steeps out like for a day or two, I think it'll give it a nice sugary like blueberry to it. I mean, I might be wrong. I don't know. I'll find out tomorrow when I wake up tomorrow and I vape it. But all in all, I mean, it's not a bad, simple blueberry muffin. You know what I mean? Just utilizing Flavora's flavors, concentrate. Yeah. If I would do anything different and not, like I said, and not incorporate Flavora, I mean, you could probably sub out. If you don't have Flavor blueberry, you can probably sub it out with maybe Hangson or HS blueberry. And if you don't have boysenberry, like do the Flavor Stone, or like maybe throw some blueberry extra or Flavor West, you know, something like that in there. But I think that the Greek yogurt and the marshmallow are key in this recipe in order to give it that moistness. Because the blueberry muffin's good on its own, but it doesn't have that moistness that I'm looking for. And I think that Greek yogurt adds that creamy milkiness to the vape. Like I said, off the scale, it's really good. I got to name it and then I'll release it. I did name it yogurt, but I'll put something else on there. But other than that, I mean,
awesome. Mix it, rate it, comment on it.
2 stars.
2. Come on.
I'm sure if you could add some Capella cake butter, it would be a 4.5.
They were fucking doing it. Honestly, I like it. I like it the way where it's at. It's nice and clear too. That's what I like about it. 4.5%. That kicks ass. And this is a real flavorful recipe for being 4.5%. Kudos to Flavora for utilizing their flavors at low percentage to come up with a great recipe. I mean, I know that those flavor concentrates might cost you, $5.50 or $5.49, whatever they're on Bull City or whatever you order from their website in general. Like if you order straight from them, but for what you get, you know what I mean? It's either double or 3 times the amount of concentrate that you're going to get from, say, like TFA or another flavor or Flavor West or whatever that you have to use. I wouldn't put Flavora in the same category as Flavor West. Flavor West is just straight sugar, but I'm saying percentage wise on how high you have to use them. Using these at the low percentages really works out well. It's a good vape. I'll release it later on after the show. I'll come up with a name or whatever. But
good job, David.
Not really.
Good job.
Not really. We'll see how it steeps out. I never thought that I would use Favora yogurt in something, but it works well in this. It really works well in this. But make sure you guys, like Folkart talked about, we talked about, and Lewis talked about, make sure you avoid that piece of shit NCR RDA out there on the market. Just throw that thing in a fucking trash, or maybe you can get a refund or sell it on fucking eBay or some douchebag. You could sell it on Craigslist or whatever. Who knows? Just get rid of the damn thing. Or maybe you guys get in the community come up with some kind of way where you can rig it to run regular coils, which I doubt. I'm sure there's somebody out there already thinking a way. Hopefully in the future they'll come out with better wafers or whatever, or better material. I'm sure that they probably can with all the R&D and development that they put out with that RDA. I'm sure that they can drop a couple bucks to maybe come out with a better system, a better wafer design in order for it to be safer for us vapors in the community. Because honestly, I think it could be a game changer if it's done right. And if they can come out with maybe a better ohm rating, if they can come out with like different series, because they said 300,000, like 300,000 to 600,000 burns or something on that thing. So if they can really get that down and come out with like a more of a variety of like maybe more of a super sub ohm, like 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, whatever, maybe like a 0.3, a 0.5, and like maybe a 0.8 or 0.9 wafer, and redesign it with better materials, I think that it would really be better. But as of right now, stay away from it until that happens, if it does happen. Also, make sure you guys tune in tonight after the show. Make sure you tune into Juiced. That's going to be coming up with our main man, Black Mamba, which is on our show B2B, Back to Basics. That's on at I always get that screwed up, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesdays. Yes. I'm so bad at times. I'm sorry. And that's the thing. Steam show is actually on at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. That's what I get screwed up. I know Pippa. I seen her in the chat. I'll give a shout out to her. Thanks for stopping by today, Pip. Make sure you check her show. I think her show comes on at Mondays, and that's actually around the same time as that's tomorrow. It's tomorrow our time in the U.S. So it will be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Monday. I think it's like 7 a.m. for her. Make sure you check her out tomorrow on her show, if she's doing her show. I don't know what her schedule's like. I know sometimes she does or doesn't do her show. Other than that, that's all I got. Oh, real quick for you new mixers out there, make sure you tune into us this Wednesday, and also make sure you utilize DMC's codes that we have out there with Bull City Flavors, www.bullcityflavors.com. Use discount code, guys, DMC6, and get 6% off your total order. You get free shipping over $75. And make sure you new mixers out there that join us every Wednesday, make sure you check out Liquid Barn. Okay, liquidbarn.com. You utilize code MixersCrew and get 50% off your total order. That's an awesome discount. I know I actually just used that either, like I said, I ordered nicotine either yesterday or this morning, and I used that discount code, and it saved me a nice chunk of change through Liquid Barn, and I got free shipping. I ordered a nicotine. I think it was 500 mils of nicotine. I think I ordered like root beer and some other flavor, and it came to literally $50.17. I ordered 2 flavors, 500 mils of 100 milligram nicotine, and it came to $50.17, and I got free shipping. You can't beat that guy.
Yep.
So make sure you utilize those discount codes. They're exclusive to DMC. Check them out. Other than that, that's all I got, guys. Before we roll, Lewis, if you have anything about any more about the NCR RDA, feel free. Folk Art, up to you guys. Any questions in the chat, feel free to ask before we get out of here today.
I was just going to say, if anybody wants to join us in the after show party in the Zoom room, I put the link in the chat there. We'll be hanging around for just a little bit, and we'll talk whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah, there was a couple. There was that dude that asked about the lime recipe. Feel free to join. I'm going to pop in. I got to run upstairs, and I got to do some things, but I will be in the chat for a few minutes also as well. Make sure if you like this video and you like our content, please hit that like button and support us by subscribing to our channel. And I really, really want to give a special thanks to all you guys out there in the chat and all you subscribers. because it really means a lot to us for you supporting us out there. And we feel that we try to put out the best content out there for you DIYers in the community, and we try to make a difference out there for you guys. Other than that, that's all I got. I'm out of here for today. Hope to see you in a Zoom room.
Thanks, Daddy Kane, for the new intro. It's awesome, man.
See you.
You are now listening to LSL.